Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week in Virbank. So, today we're going to talk about some things that have happened in Virbank over the past week or so. I always choose three things because I don't want to make the video too long. So, I'm just going to look at three things and I'm going to talk about them. This video is going to be a bit more controversial because there have been some things that have been happening on Virbank that I have not been too happy about, I guess you could say, or things I have a lot to say about. Let's put it that way. But let's start on a good note with this funny meme that was posted by Emily Engel. Probably got the most, this is probably the most likes maybe I've seen ever. So it says, for Christmas, I want a dragon. The little girl, she's talking to Santa. And she says, for Christmas, I want a dragon. And Santa's like, be realistic. And so then she's like, League Cup information. And as you know, League Cups are kind of what replace city championships. And Santa says, what color do you want for your dragon? Kind of saying like, yeah, we don't have any information on League Cups. So this is a big deal because we were told that League Cups were going to be happening once every quarter. The first quarter is almost over. No, or it might be already over. No League Cups have happened. The second quarter is either coming up or we're in the second quarter, and we have little to no information on League Cups, meaning that it seems as though League Cups are going it seems as though it's going to be the same format with League Cups maybe starting in December, January, unless League Cups are going to run from January all the way up into Nationals or after Nationals. Or maybe they will start popping up in December. I'm not entirely sure, but this was absolutely hilarious. This was very, very funny, and a lot of people are, concerned because now it's 500 points. So people are trying to map out their road to 500, and it's really hard to do that because League Cups are going to be essential to hitting that 500 mark. And if we don't know when League Cups are going to be, then how are we possibly going to be able to plan for these events, or how are we supposed to, plan around that? People don't have the money to travel to all of these regionals that are happening throughout the year. I've only been to one myself, and that's in my backyard. I'm not going to Fort Wayne. I will be going to Dallas. But still, I was kind of thinking by this point, at least, we would have some information on League Cup. So this is the thing that I would, this is what I wanted to show you guys first. I'm sure most of you guys have seen it, but it is pretty funny. All right, so now let's get into the next thing I want to talk about today. So, Andrew Wambolt, he's a player that is pretty. He, especially in the online community, he posts online a lot, and I remember him from. I believe he was a very active member in Hayes Trainer, if I recall. But he says the amount of clickbait is getting to be too much. Your game or pack opening wasn't epic. The new card isn't crazy, and neither is your Elite Trainer box. Your deck probably isn't the most broken deck ever. Everyone is already talking about that card, and Startling Megaphone is the ultimate answer to Garbodor. So this is kind of shade at people who make clickbait videos like YouTube, YouTubers that make videos that just see views so that they can monetize their videos and make money. So let's see some examples of what he has posted here. Crazy new energy acceleration with Rayquaza. Now, I saw that video and I was kind of thinking to myself, was there something I missed with that Rayquaza? Was it ridiculously good? And I just didn't notice. And then when I went back and looked at it, it's not that amazing. So I was kind of like, where is that coming from? I wouldn't waste the video talking about it. I mean, it's interesting, I guess. Why is nobody talking about Giratina? Great new Pokemon card. People definitely were talking about Giratina. I was going to make a video on that. I kind of missed the ball on it. Oh well, I'll talk about it when it gets released, I guess. Most broken Pokemon TCG combo, 99% undefeatable Jolteon, Archeops, Vileplume Ultimate Lock. Okay, that's a little ridiculous. That one is a little ridiculous. How do you even Archeops and Vileplume in this? Okay, I'm not even gonna think about that. Insane damage output. Carbink, Machamp. Okay. Epic Mail Day Pokemon Collection. Crazy XY Evolutions Booster Box opening. Is Beedrill the ultimate answer to Garbodor decks? I have not even seen these. 100 Fates Collide pack. Awesome new cards. Is Vidra about to take over? Take over. Now, he was wrong for that one. The one, him saying is Vidra about to take over. Pokemon TCG epic comeback. Okay, I don't blame people for that. All right, so for example, okay, I do have some videos that I have posted. I know when I was reviewing Serena, it was kind of like Serena discussion, and then I had an emoji like it was kind of like shocking. And to me, in my opinion, when I saw the card, it was shocking, and I feel as though when I talked about it, it kind of explained that. And then I also have a video where I was kind of like Tyranitar does what, because it was an exciting point in my video when I was kind of I was playing PTCG. I was tipsy. I thought I was gonna win. I thought I had the game in the bag, and then he evolved into Tyranitar, and I had no clue what Tyranitar did. And I'm pretty sure a lot of seasoned players might not know what Tyranitar does. Do you guys know what Tyranitar does? So I thought that was an appropriate, title, and maybe it would get people interested. So this is an interesting topic, especially considering that I'm also a YouTuber. All right, so let's see what people have to say. Y'all are just bitter human beings and that can't let people just do their thing. Epic broken budget blaster, no shamans, no BS seekers. Megaphone is not in standard, although I agree. Okay, the clickbaits are ridiculous. Not everyone has all the answers like you do. Know your privilege. My girlfriend want to start a chance. Okay, you pretty much have to do it like this. Okay, good. So here's something that we can talk about. You pretty much have to do shit like this to keep your revenue rolling on YouTube. It's basically just a part of the platform at this point. It sucks, yes, but certainly I don't blame content creators that came after the trend, that are just doing what they need to do while making quality content. Further, a lot of PTCG YouTube players that do pack openings do it by request. Alright, so yeah, right, you can't blame people if the content is really, really good, and I agree with that. As long as the content is good, you shouldn't blame them too much. We have good old Stephen Bates. I would like to mention that literally none of these YouTubers care about what Andrew Wimble thinks about their titles and thumbnails. They still cash their YouTube check every month. Yes, and that might be true. Like, for somebody like me who doesn't, I mean, to be honest, I'm doing this for the content, to get the content out there, and because I enjoy doing it. I don't nearly have enough subscribers to really be making any good money off of YouTube. As some of you guys may know, I am a high school English teacher, so that's where I make most of my money from. So this is kind of all for fun, but that does make sense. If something is making you money, then they're gonna continue to do it. Like, people don't like that Pokemon keeps printing all these big basics. Are you still gonna keep playing the game? Yes. Do kids like these big EX Pokemon? Yeah, they do. Maybe that's what's keeping kids into the game. I don't know, and maybe that's why they keep printing them, or kept printing them. Alright, so Andrew Wimble here says, yeah, some of these channels are great, but the titles can be really bad, probably hurting their channels. The casual players fan does not mean less intelligent person. It just means someone who has chosen to be less invested in the game. There is no reason to believe the title would entice them, which makes sense. Jay-Witz is one of the best in the genre. Jay-Witz doesn't even make Pokemon TCG. I mean, he used to be, but he doesn't even make Pokemon TCG videos anymore. Alright, so let's just look down at some more of these. Problem seems to be people have clickbait to maintain or increase popularity. Yeah. Ross says, as someone... Alright, so this is somebody who makes videos, and I do enjoy Ross's videos. Is he a little too... Do I feel like I'm the person that Ross is targeting when he talks about his videos? Not necessarily, but I still do enjoy watching them nonetheless. So Ross says, I have no... Okay, so one, he says he has no choice. I don't like it, but it's reality that most competitive players by now either like relevant, right? Same thing for me. Most competitive players either like me or they don't. I will talk about that in a minute. Some people will click, some won't. But new players / casual fans, kids will be swayed by the title, right? The more subs and views I get, the more content I make, so I need to keep the views up. I try to be truthful. Too long, don't read. I don't want to, but it helps to grow the channel, and people tell me what. Right, so regardless of the clickbait title, it's still something that most of the time I want to see, or you might want to see it. Like, regardless of what's going on with the title, it's something that you want to see and players are going to enjoy. So it's just something to get people in. Like, odds are, if you are subscribed, why are you getting mad at clickbaity titles? Because why did you subscribe in the first place if you're gonna get mad at the titles? Yes, okay, it does seem like a cash grab, but at least they're not saying click an ad like I know some YouTubers have in other mediums. All right, so this game is Yu-Gi-Oh now. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. And so yeah, and then here I go. I'm kind of like, oh, okay, yeah. Let me just scroll on past this post, but I kind of saved it, and then here we go. Where's Puka left when we needed him most? Yes, R.I.P. to the top cut. I really miss the top cut. So let me also say this. Like, this is the one thing I don't mind about YouTubers. I don't mind that YouTubers have other or fellow YouTubers have clickbaity titles. I'm not going to criticize a fellow YouTuber for having a clickbaity title. I'm not saying that it's something that I don't necessarily try to do myself, but I do want people to watch my videos. I do want to make it seem like appealing, or I want to keep the viewership there, because at this point I don't have a lot of viewers. But some of the stuff that I went over when I read it, that's just a little ridiculous. Here goes another YouTuber. Yeah, I agree with Wamby on this one. As a person, I am less inclined to click on titles that say amazing, fantastic, whatever. I watch Ross's videos because I know his reputation and I genuinely enjoy his content. A majority of the other videos, I'm just like, why do I even both? It's the same old list or the same old pack opening. I have nothing against those who do that. It's interesting. I think being straightforward and clear with your fans and viewers is what keeps gaining subscribers slowly but steadily. Sure, there are other channels that have insane large numbers that grow. Too long, don't read. I don't hate it, but I wouldn't do it personally. Okay, and I can totally agree with that. I think that you guys have to realize that we need to grow our community. Anybody who puts time and effort into making a video about Pokemon, I don't care if we have 10 different videos about an Evoltal Maxie's deck. That's 10 different opinions on an Evoltal Maxie's deck. And I think that as a community, we should appreciate people who push out YouTube content more. Like, because we are taking our time to provide commentary, to provide input, to kind of have a conversation with all of you, where a conversation could not be had. So you have to realize that not everybody lives in circles, or not everybody has friends who play Pokemon. So for a lot of them, the only conversation they get kind of is out of Virbank, or the only conversation they get is out of YouTube videos. If you are not a part of Virbank, not every person who's into Pokemon isn't a part of Virbank, is a part of Virbank, but it certainly seems that way. So I think that we need to appreciate, yes, clickbaity things are bad, but it's not the end of the world. It's not something that I think we should harshly criticize, because at the end of the day, these people are taking their time to create content, and anything that is pushing the game should be promoted and seen positive. Now, with that being said, let me also say this. Okay, so basically, I've noticed that I have bots that dislike my videos. Somebody has put a bot on my video, and like every video I post gets 3 dislikes. In addition to that, I know for sure that people who are fellow YouTubers have actually shared my videos in private places and told people to dislike my videos. And I think that is very scummy, just to be honest. I'm not going to, go into details. I'm not going to create a witch hunt, and I'm not going to do all of that. But this is the piggyback off what I just said. At the end of the day, I'm on here. I'm taking my time out. We're all crabs in a bucket. Like, all YouTubers on here are crabs in the bucket. I want to see every YouTuber be successful, and I think for us to be in a competitive spot, either any of us, it's sad. Like, it's really sad, because we're all doing the same thing. We all want the same thing. We all want different opinions. And so it's kind of disheartening to know that people who feel as passionately about me as this game would do something like that based on the idea that they might not like me, or I don't know what. Well, I kind of do know what the case is, and I won't get into it, but I think it's sad, because at the end of the day, it's all for the love of the game. This is all for fun. We all do the same thing, and I think that we should all support each other. There shouldn't be people who want to see you fail, right? People not viewing my video is not going to make people view your video anymore, and vice versa. So I don't see where the problem is. I've tried to, subscribe to all of the fellow YouTubers on YouTube that do Pokemon TCG related content, and if I haven't, please let me know about your channel. I will subscribe. Squeaky's videos, I watch every single one of them when I'm, you know, on my downtime, on my spare time. The Chaos Gym, I watch all their videos. On the Meta Deck, I watch all their videos. So for people to do that to me, it just kind of, you know, makes me realize what type of community I am. And well, it just reminds me of the toxic things that are within this community. So I just wanted to say that. That's all I'm going to say about that for now. All right. So also, we have this here. So this is something, this Jonathan Crespo post. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but let me just go over this. And again, I'm just going to get really serious in a minute. So he won Philadelphia Regionals with Trevenant. Congrats, Jonathan Crespo. You know, you did a great job. East Coast player. I believe he's from New York, somewhere around there. He won with Trev. Really, really degenerative deck. In my opinion, I hate Trevenant. I hate the fact that it can go first and just tell your opponent, no, you're not playing with items for the rest of the game. But they decided to print it. And 4 red cards. Oh my gosh. I know, like, that must have been so cards. Like, I would have been, like, after the first 2, I'd have been like, are you kidding me? So yeah, so congratulations to him. So anyways, I went on this post to congratulate him, and I want to, you know, I was kind of like, you know, great that Giratina is a card. So if you go down here, let's see where I had commented. Let me see if I can find it. That's like the, okay, here it goes. I was like, congrats on another node. Giratina can't come out soon enough, because Giratina is really going to put a nail in this deck. And so now some people were like, oh, it's not going to hurt he's like, oh, it's not going to hurt the deck because Silent, you can play the Silent Lab and Trevenant. Well, I mean, if you play Silent Lab and Trevenant, you're not going to have Dimension Valley, and a big benefit from Trevenant is having that Dimension Valley in play because it attacks for a lot cheaper, and plus, that is a stadium that can be bumped fairly easy, so I do think Giratina is a pretty hard counter to Trevenant. It's not an extremely hard counter to Trevenant, but it's a pretty hard counter to Trevenant. Alright, so anyways, I happen to notice that this guy Mark Corsack said, this is an interesting list. I could win the coin flip and get turn 1 Trevenant. So Jonathan Crespo says, nigga, LOL nigga. I won the coin flip twice in 17 rounds. Alright, so maybe Jonathan Crespo is saying nigga as a form of expression, kind of like, you know, nigga. Maybe that's what he's saying. But if he's directly talking to Mark, I don't believe that Mark is in any way, shape, or form. No, Mark doesn't look to be black, but that doesn't make it okay, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So I said, you know, Jonathan, you know, I just congratulated him, and, you know, I'm like, I love to see players of color. Like, I love that. I'm like, okay, great. This is what we need in the game. We need some more diversity. I feel the same way about the commentators. I love that Aaron Zhang is commentating. As much as I like Aaron Zhang, but I feel like we needed some diversity there. So I really like that he did that, because, you know, why not diversity? And so then he says, so I say Jonathan, was using the word nigga necessary? I am sorry, but I'm not the type of person that wants to come to Virbank after being a teacher all day and hearing kids say nigga, 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 nigga. I'm not the type of person that wants to come to Virbank and see that being said. So Jonathan Crespo calls me a nigga, right? So he says, nigga, do you not know that this is Virbank? So does that mean that it's okay to say nigga just because this is Virbank? Is Virbank an excuse for us to be idiots and offensive and use language that shouldn't be used? Is that okay? Does that make it okay? Okay, so anyways. So then Simon Wong says, we New York niggas, man, like dead ass B. I don't know if Simon's just trolling. So at this point, I'm just kind of like, okay, Virbank is being Virbank. People are just being ignorant. And so Zach Carmichael says, have some decency, man. Saying offensive things just uses you respect. And I agree with that. He has 6 likes. Good for him. But, you know, of course, the ignorant post, nigga, you do not know this is Virbank. It has 12 likes because, of course, it's Virbank. All right, so then he says, I'm not sure where you're coming from with that, but generally speaking, yes, I do think players, especially those who perform well at these large events, deserve congratulations, should try to be role models, right? So I don't expect them to be role models. It's not about being a role model, but the good players in our community, like Puka, Jason Klaczynski, I can't tell you how many kids genuinely look up to Jason Klaczynski, and I've seen it from my own two eyes, playing this game over a decade, they do look up to players who do well. So when you do well at these tournaments, it's nice to be somewhat of a role model and present yourself in a certain way. But again, it's not necessarily about that. And I think I do highlight that in my next post. Right. So I say this isn't a matter of being a role model. I don't think of anyone in this group as a whole Virbank and to be a role model. Like, yes, there are specific individuals who do carry themselves as a role model. But, again, this is Virbank. However, I'm not going to casually scroll past language that has roots in racism and just dismiss it because it's Virbank. And the word nigga, it has roots in racism. It being Virbank is an excuse for players that act like idiots. I don't care how any of you feel about this word, and it bothers me that society somehow thinks that the meaning of the word has been morphed into something that isn't offensive. In addition, the person in the original post isn't a nigga. So that's what I was saying is the person, I think his name was Mark. That's what I meant. Not necessarily the guy who won the tournament. 90% of the people who have felt the need to comment over a word whose meaning they'll never understand aren't a nigga. So let me break this down to you guys. And this is the same thing I tell my students when they throw this word around, nigga, nigga, nigga. If you go back to the slavery days, and I know I'm sure some of you anti-progressives, not free anymore. Okay. But anyways, if you go back, and you go to a plantation, you say, where are your niggas at? I guarantee you they're not going to be like, I don't know what a nigga is, but I know what a nigger is. That's not going to happen, right? So that word, is rooted in racism. It was a word that was used to systematically oppress a group of people. It was a word that was used to make black people feel like they were insignificant to their white counterparts. It is a word that was used when people were getting lashes on their back. It is a word that was used when people were getting lashes and forced to pick cotton. It is a word that will never be used against 90% of these people who are joking around in the context that it was originally meant. So how dare you use a word willy-nilly that people died for it, that people died hearing said as the last word they ever heard said to them was this word in a form of hatred, right? So you will never in your life have somebody say that to you and it come from that place of hatred. So for you to be able to use that word and think that it's cool or it's trendy or it's okay, it's offensive, right? Because this is a word that people have, like I just said, people have died over. And so it does bother me. It's kind of like the word faggot. Heterosexuals will throw around the word faggot here, there, and everywhere and think that it's okay. No, it is not okay. You will never, as a heterosexual man, feel the type of emotional stress and pain that comes with that word being told to you in a hateful way. You won't experience that. And if you do, it's not going to affect you because guess what? You're not gay. I've had somebody hold a gun to my head and rob me while calling me a faggot. And a lot of you probably will never experience that. And thank God for it. But, for you to feel like you can just use that word willy-nilly when it just has so much root in hatred, it's offensive to me. Yes, it is offensive to me. I can be offended. I will be offended. And I know a lot of people think, "Oh, you're overreacting." Okay, I guess so. Maybe that is the popular opinion now because Trump just got elected president. All right, so then we have this guy going back and forth. He's like, the person wasn't. So he was kind of saying like, "Oh, okay, well, John Crespo is a nigga, so even if he was okay." It doesn't matter if he was or he isn't. I just explained to you guys why the word shouldn't be used. And by black people using it, and black people, again, they feel, my students tell me, I feel like I can use it. But if we desensitize ourselves to the word nigga and black people use it over and over again, then it's going to do what it's doing here. Make people that are not of color feel as though that, black people use it all the time. They don't care about it anymore. They use it, as a form of, brotherhood. So we can use it too. No, that's not how it works. And I think a lot of people do feel that way. And I remember, Shofu, I got into it with him on Twitter and his followers tore me apart. But I stood my ground. I told Shofu I stopped watching his videos because him and all the people in his videos just used the word way too much. You were literally playing Pokemon Showdown. What? Why are you calling things such as Hypno and Jinx nigga? This nigga Hypno got a big nose. Stupid nigga, I hate Hypno. It's a dumb call. Like, why? It's so like, it just makes no sense to me. All right, so that was my whole rant or spiel about that word. And I'm glad to see that, you know, a lot of people who have been using it on Virbank in a negative or derogatory way, they have been getting banned. I'm sorry that this video has been so long, but Virbank had really had a lot going on this week for me especially. And the funny thing is that it doesn't show up on my feed. I have to actually go in Virbank, but I do that because, again, I'm pushing out content. So tonight, I'm probably going to try to stream. So by the time this gets uploaded, I might be about to stream. So if you guys want to see me stream tonight, please stay tuned. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. This is not your typical channel. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about, but I also will provide that, you know, that good, friendly content. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching, and subscribe if you have not already.